Hello and welcome to All Shorts here in France. I hope you're all having a lovely weekend. It's beautiful here in France, I'll tell you. The sun is out, so I thought I'd take the old motorbike, go for a run. Had the old helmet on and that, and the old radio blasting in my ear as you do. And whizzing around the bends and all that, all of a sudden I hear Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. And he tells us that the gross domestic product of the United Kingdom has surpassed France. I thought, okay, fair enough, you know. But then it come to my head, into my mind it did. I just suddenly remembered that, hang on, you're being a bit disingenuous. So I stopped there for a moment. I sat on that bench just behind me, you know, just watching the world go by, while reading the articles on the old Moby. And I come across several articles, and none of them actually mentioned what I'm about to tell you. Now, I actually talked about this in a previous video, about a week or two ago. And excuse me, what they don't tell you is what does actually cost to actually get the actual GDP higher. No, okay, you make an investment, you expect some growth, don't you? You know, argument's sake, say for instance you bought yourself a house and it's a doer-upper and it's cost you 200 grand, you know, and the view was you're going to sell it for 300,000, you know, the budget for it, have you, and you know, and you pay some money, you spend about 60 odd grand doing it all up. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. And when it comes down to the actual market's dropped, or the cost of actually doing the actual work is much higher than first anticipated, so you made less money. Let's say, for instance, you sold for 250,000. All of a sudden, you've made a loss, a considerable loss. That's just an example, but you get where I'm coming from. It's your profit and loss. Now, when you hear of supermarkets that are renowned for making huge profits, Lidl's, for instance, was used to make around 40 to 60 million a year in profit. This year, well, the last financial year, they made a 76 million loss. Because the cost of doing, well, business is more than it was before. That's the same difference for the actual GDP. Because our volume is down as well. We're actually making less stuff, but it's costing more money. We're selling less stuff, but it's costing more money. People are cutting back because they have to. Because we're in a cost of living crisis. Now, one of Lidl's biggest problems was the fact that their wages, they had about 50 million in that year in wage increases because of promises they made to their staff and what have you. Well, it's the cost of doing business now. It's not going to go down again. That is it now. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, okay, well, okay, people are getting paid more money. But you've got inflation, everything's costing downside more money. Do you know anyone who's actually got more money in their pockets to spend? I mean, ordinary folk who own, you know, on a PAYE and what have you? No. It's only the rich bugs make more flipping money. And yet they don't want flipping VAT on their flipping private school fees. That's what they're telling us. Rishi Sunak will wave it as some kind of, well, attack at Keir Starmer. It's nuts. I've got this article up here. You could argue that, The Guardian is generally a left-wing newspaper. As what Sue Ellen Braverman would say, what does she say? Tofu eating, Guardian reading, wokerati, or something like that. Anyway, so the UK economy makes a stronger recovery from the pandemic than first thought. No mention of Brexit. Known full well, Brexit's cost the country a huge amount of money in lost trade and exports, and also the cost of doing anything. Everything imported into the country is costing considerable more money. And now we're going to be looking at our car importation and exportation. That's going to be scuppered with the 10% tariffs if nothing happens regarding the rules of origin. And it don't look like it's going to. So it's not looking good, is it? I'm on a hill here. I'm a bit concerned I'm going to knock my bike over. I should have put the thing under the blooming kickstand. Kickstand. So the UK economy made a faster recovery from the COVID pandemic than previously estimated. And according to revisions to the official figures revealing a stronger performance in Germany and France. Now, Germany will be hit with this rules of origin, a 10% tariff. That's going to cause massive problems regarding, especially electric cars and what have you. So that ain't great news for Germany, I must admit. But that's listening to Terry Britton, I think he's the trade minister. in the EU. It doesn't look like they're going to consider renegotiating it. So they're going to be scuppered. But everything is becoming more expensive to produce. So then people buy less as well. So basically, yes, the gross domestic product is higher, but we're sold less stuff. It's only higher because that stuff has become more expensive because the costs are higher. And no one's saying it. No one's saying it. I think they're just, it's been disingenuous, and they're just lying to you. Absolutely, they're just lying to you. Now, yeah, if you look at this scale here, I'll show you again, there you go. And it says there, the US, 6.1% change in growth. Gross domestic product, the growth of. Canada, 3.5%, Japan, 3%. Vietnam, oh no, sorry, in this group of countries. But Vietnam's is actually, they got about 6 or 7% growth here. They're doing really well regarding their GDP. So Italy 2.1, UK 1.8, and France 1.7, and Germany 0.2. Don't forget, Germany's still one of the biggest economies. You know, that's just the growth. That's not actually the GDP. So, and also it's the way the UK actually calculates its gross domestic product isn't particularly accurate anyway. The way they do it differently to everybody else. So it's just not accurate. You just got to ask yourself, have you got more money in your pocket? Have we got mortgage rates at a rate that is actually sustainable? No. We've got mortgage companies offering mortgages at lower rates than the actual minimum base rate. You know, they're doing futures, you know, they're hedging their bets, you could say. Because the assumption is the rate is going to come down and they need to try and grab the customers now while they can. But it's still too expensive. Fixed rate mortgages, you could end up, you know, hanging yourself on them if the rate all of a sudden comes down, which it won't do anytime soon. I just wish they'd be flipping honest with us. I really do. I'm sick and tired of the lying. And how to put it, being economic with the truth. Go a little bit of information, a little bit of data, and draw it out of proportion. The problem is, what's really dangerous is, people will listen to this crap, and they'll say to themselves, oh, that's okay then. I'll go and get a loan for this if I can. I'll get a loan for that as I can. And not thinking what the future really might, you know, entail. Now, if I look at that article, further down, there was some economists' opinions here. So momentum is, however, beginning to stall in the UK. The economy grapples with higher interest rates from the Bank of England. Obviously, it's 5.25%. They didn't get it to 5.5%, but there's still a chance it could reach 6%. We're not over that hurdle yet. We're not. I think inflation's high. You know, and then you could argue, oh my God, if, for instance, they're saying our GDP is up because we've got growth, that might be a bad thing because we might see the inflation creep up or hold that line. We're still on the precipice of actually full-blown recession here, when people already are suffering and they can't even, well, feed their kids and they go to food banks. And they say everything's broken here in France. They just invested a huge amount of money in France, for instance, to hold back the surcharges on electricity and the EDF. It's just lie after lie after lie after lie. That's all it is. And it's deeply frustrating. Deeply frustrating. And no matter what I say, I'm a small fry here, but when I hear this stuff again and again and again, I'm just, oh, crikey, my stomach, it worries me that ordinary people are just trying to get by on a daily basis, pay the bills, feed the kids, keep a roof over their heads, and struggling. We've got 1 million kids in the UK sleeping on the flipping floor because the parents can't afford a bed or bed base. This is nuts. We've got, I can't remember what it was now. I did a video about this about a year ago. There's one lady, she's going around, well, she's in a bit of a business now. Not business, quite a reasonable charity that's basically they've got this charity and they're supplying mattresses to people who haven't got mattresses for their families. Just, still on the floor, mate, but they've got something to sleep on. It's just this madness. Absolute madness. And they reckon it's broken here in France. No. I'll tell you why it ain't broken here in France. Because the French people have got the guts to go out there and protest. No matter what laws there might be. They'll go out there and protest. So you have this element of fear regarding the governments. Now, people, you have the power to do the same. You really do. No matter what flipping laws are out there, you've got to flip it. Well, you've got to need some guts. You grow up here, I'm sorry. But that's what we need in the UK. No, so what would you do if in the UK? What would you protest? I think I very well would, to be honest. Got a few scheming ideas, me. But anyway, I better not expose them. So, Gregory, the Deputy Chief of UK Economists of Capital Economics, said, "We still think that higher interest rates will trigger a mild recession involving a 0.5% fall in GDP. See, this thing, they get a little bit of hope, you know, and everyone else, other than the people who really actually know, hence the economists, those who are trying to paint a rosy picture or say, look what we've done, our plan has worked and what have you, like Rishi Sunak, that blinking plug with his short trousers. Oh, I'm just getting flipping frustrated and angry with us. I really am. Now, I've got family in the UK, okay, I run away. I came to France, I run away because I like the roads and I like people. I like the idea that people they are part of this communities here still. I like that. And being an English twat, living here in France or whatever, I just like the fact that I'm accepted here. You know, even with my shit French and what have you, you know? We have a laugh. I go out in the bars, what have you, with the other people, with the motorbikes and stuff. Carol gets involved in charities, I get involved in charities. This is what you got to do if you're living here in another country. You get involved the best way that you possibly can. Now, I've got skills, you know. I'm a woodworker, I'm a very creative, very practical person. So I can offer something. I've just been asked by the local school, can you make us little bird houses? I said, yeah, because I'm making birdhouses anyway, and I don't care where they are. You know, they don't have to be on my land, they can be at the school. Why not? So we're going to make the birdhouses for them. You know? It's... Oh! I'm really concerned, really worried, because without honesty in politics and economics and what have you, that the people out there who make the decisions, if they're not being honest with the people are going to make the wrong decision, make the wrong choices in life, and they're going to get themselves in a predicament and then get themselves in trouble. That's my feeling anyway. What do you reckon? Please leave it in the comments down below. Anyway, I might have to go and have another ride and blast some corners. Yeah, put my hat back on. But I have got hair though, see? I've sort of got hair. Yeah, it's like Brillo. There you go. Anyway, if you're a sports channel, you do that on Patreon and buy us a coffee. And the links are down below in the description. It's very much appreciated, it really is. Because there's no way I could carry on with this channel if I don't get support. And I have had some lovely people been really, very kind. Do appreciate that. But I mentioned also about the bird boxes a minute ago, or bird houses, and owl roosts and stuff. We're making bat roosts. If you want to help support that, like for instance, providing little homes for little critters, there's a GoFundMe link down below where we're doing like a replanting as well, tree replanting and habitats and stuff for animals. And the link is down below in the description. If you want to be a part of that, make a little contribution, and we can put up little bird houses and stuff, and plant some trees on your behalf, whatever you want, really. So and we put a sign and we mark that tree with your name, or you can have it in memory of a loved one or a pet or something like that. Anyway, I know some people already heard me say that so many times, regulars to this channel, but if it's not always the regulars to watch, is it? So, anyway, you have a lovely day, wouldn't you? And if you're ever there in the UK, it's as nice as it is here. Just get out of the house, chill out and enjoy it. It's good for the mind, body and soul, Ta-ta.